for joining us. We have here with us this afternoon, Tony Ellis, Vice President of IT with Topper's Pizza. Tony, tell us a little bit about Topper's Pizza to start.
Great, yeah. I mean, Topper's Pizza, founded in 1991 as a small one restaurant pizza chain, and we've grown into that chain now, and we've expanded our restaurant footprint to 66 restaurants over like 13 different states. So we're everywhere from the Midwest to the West Coast. The East Coast. We really specialize in delivery, carryout, and late night. The college crowds know us as that great place you go late at night to get sticks and pizza, and it's our niche, and we love it. We love being the latest ones open in town. So that's kind of our niche and what we go for.
Awesome. So let's talk tech. Tell us your position on build versus buy and how that's really, influenced what's happened at Topper's from a technology standpoint the last few months.
Yeah, I mean, pizza in general is one of those really cool segments where technologies is a big deal. And that's really, you can really look to our segment and see the top players, and you can see some of the top innovation is really happening in our segment, which is really exciting for me being, a technologist in this area. Is really exciting. As I came into Topper's Pizza, one of the things that we were looking at is, one of the challenges about buying a point of sale or buying an e-commerce solution or any kind of piece of technology for your restaurant is a lot of times you're kind of confined into what the application can do. You have to kind of live in that sandbox, and of course they'll customize it for you. They'll do that, and it takes a lot of time and money to do that. And Topper's just has a lot of unique pieces, and they really wanted to do what they wanted to do in the time frame they wanted to do it. So we really wanted to empower the business to be able to change more rapidly with industry trends, with customer shopping trends, with store needs, frankly. And we wanted to do that at a rate that I don't think an off-the-shelf kind of product could have done. So that really gets into, do you buy or do you build? And in this case, we decided we were going to build our own solution. So over the last few years, we've spent a ton of time and effort building our own point of sale solution and relaunching toppers.com on a new e-commerce solution that can meet all of those ever-changing needs. So that's kind of the build versus buy and how we got to today. And really it was about, for when I think about it, control our own destiny and be really agile, like really fast. Like we need to be able to deliver on solutions when they happen, not weeks and months after they happen.
Yeah. So could you tell us about some of the new features that you rolled out, this spring?
Yeah. So 2020 was big, right? So we all got sideswiped by COVID earlier this year. The entire restaurant industry really took a punch, and we needed to figure out what's going on and what do customers want right now, right? And it was very clear. We kind of put our ear out there, and it was three major things that we felt we needed to build and deliver on very quickly. One was curbside. So we couldn't let people into the restaurant for team member safety, for customer safety. We wanted to keep them out of the restaurant initially. So we worked on a curbside pickup program. So customers could pick up the phone, call Topper's, and we would bring the pizza out to your car so you didn't need to get out of your car. And of course, there's a lot of challenges around that and interesting things around that. The second thing was our delivery customers. So our delivery customers wanted that no contact delivery. They really want to minimize the touch points with our delivery drivers. So we needed to create some flexibility in our website and our point of sale platform so that customers could specify what they wanted so we could deliver on those customer needs. And then the last thing was kind of customer driven and also internal driven was tipping. So we had traditionally been a pen and paper kind of tipping thing. You pay with cash, you write your tip on the receipt line, but previously we had never allowed tipping online. So we wanted to expand our tipping capabilities so customers could minimize that interaction with the pen and the paper, and the same thing for the team members. They didn't want to handle that sort of thing either. So again, as a safety thing, online tipping suddenly became a real requirement. And so those three things were some of the things we did this year that really executed on that agility plan that I talked about a little bit earlier. really leveraging our ability to quickly go to market. We innovated curbside, we innovated no contact delivery, we added online tipping, and we did it in less than 3 weeks. So
That's
where I
so
think,
impressive.
yeah, where I think a really big company wouldn't have been able to move that quickly, and a really a small company would have been waiting for their partner to build those features. You know, we had built and deployed those in a relatively short amount of time and responded to the needs of our community, our store community and customer community.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it sounds like, you know, those plans that you laid down a few years ago have really paid off and today. So that's great. Let's talk a little bit about in-house delivery. I mean, native delivery or in-house delivery is a huge topic that a lot of other restaurants are looking at adding at this time. You know, and I know, you know, Toppers, of course, does delivery in-house as well as works with third-party delivery partners. You know, how important is it to have that kind of diversification?
Yeah, I think it's really important. So obviously, like, we're no stranger to delivery. We've been doing it since '91. We've got 66 restaurants doing it today. That was really not much of a change for us. And I realize other restaurants are now trying to figure out how to do it. And it's about giving customers what they want. So it just turns out customers wanted delivery during this last 6 months of COVID. And we are able to deliver on that because it's right in our wheelhouse. I think it's absolutely a critical part of that overall solution. But third-party delivery services are also another really important part of that decision. There are just some customers that are convenience shoppers, okay? And convenience shoppers don't care if they got to pay more. They just want to shop where they want to shop. You know, famously internally at Toppers, we had a store. It was like a supervisor or a manager come and tell us and say, "Hey, why aren't you on this delivery service aggregator? I don't shop anywhere else. I would never go to a website directly and shop." And I remember that really tweaking our executive team, and I remember us talking a lot about it. And really, ultimately, the philosophy we arrived at is we want to be everywhere customers want to be, right? So if a customer, is okay paying full price for the convenience of shopping on any of those major delivery services, DoorDash, Uber Eats, any number of those, we want to be where customers want to be. We want to give customers what they want. So for us, it's less about fighting those needs and more about delivering on those platforms. And certainly in our industry, we see a mixed bag. I mean, some customers are dying to get on them and figure out how to do it, and others are holding tight to their tried and true channels, and they're not ready to be there yet. But Toppers wants to just, if somebody wants to order a pizza on Uber Eats, I want to deliver them a pizza on Uber Eats. I want to be everywhere a customer wants to be.
Awesome. And do you see that two-pronged attack to delivery continuing for the foreseeable future?
Absolutely. I mean, this was our business the entire time, right? So, and what's really interesting about delivery versus third-party delivery is every market seems to vary greatly. We have some markets where it's a very small amount of the overall business is going out through a third-party channel, and we have markets where it's a significant portion of the overall business, where if we drive that up, a store would go from very profitable to not profitable. So there's quite a strong dichotomy between these two channels and what's popular in what market. And it's important to know your market and know what's important to your customers in your market so you can deliver in your market areas.
So could you tell us how you accomplished, integrating those third-party delivery orders into your platform?
Sure. I mean, today we're just like a lot of other businesses, right? So there's this wall of tablets, and we've got, I mean, in some cases, full-time team members that are on those tablets, taking those orders, translating them into our point of sale. And we have, of course, over the last year and a half, really streamlined that order entry process to the point it's pretty seamless and it's pretty easy to do. However, that's not our long-term strategy. In fact, just this week, we signed an agreement with integration partner Chowly, who's going to allow us to funnel all those orders from those third parties into Chowly, and then we're going to integrate directly with Chowly to make that happen. So that's actually a new relationship and a project we're starting here in the end of Q3 and into Q4.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that'll definitely streamline the counters and your operations as well. So that's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, we're looking forward to it. It's exciting.
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about your tracker feature?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Tracker, kind of going back to my initial comments about the pizza industry specifically, really innovated that tracker piece, right? The third-party delivery services have really got it nailed. Customers want to know where their food is, right? They want to know how long is it going to take for my food to get here, and when should I expect it, right? So, that's what the tracker's all about is giving insight into the restaurant. There's too many years where it's like, yeah, your food would be there in like 30 to 50 minutes. We want something a little bit more accurate. So of course we jumped on that tracker bandwagon, and it's an ever changing thing. So it's what we have today is not what we had even a year ago, and it will definitely not be what we have in 6 months from now. Customers all about an opportunity for us to interact with the customers to say, all right, here's when your food's going to be delivered, but also potentially an opportunity for us to put in marketing messaging, maybe do some integration in the future with our curbside so that they could go to the actual tracker and say, hey, I'm here, and click a button. We see the tracker as a big opportunity in the future for us to keep innovating and pushing forward features and functionalities customers want. Today, what I do know is that more than 75% of customers that order online click the tracker on toppers.com. They actually click the tracker. That is a massive amount of customers. I mean, I can't imagine a higher, there's not many higher touch points on the website for a customer that's already completed an order.
Yeah. That's awesome that you have that insight to know how many folks are using it and can leverage that data to, add further enhancements to that tool. So what's next for Curbside? That's one of your new features that you added this year. So what's
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Speed to market sometimes means sacrificing functionality. So while customers wanted it, team members wanted it, and frankly, just to stay open, we needed to have it. So we looked at the overall picture and said, what do we want to build? And then we dialed it down a little bit to like, what could we do in 2 to 3 weeks, right? Because we did want that feature out there ASAP. So now it's about filling in those pieces we didn't do initially. So our current implementation of Curbside is a little rudimentary in the sense that you show up at the restaurant, the phone number is already on your receipt, you give the store a call, they bring the food out. And we've got some touch points internally at the restaurant as well for customers to know who's in the parking lot and to clear those off, right? So there's a lot of different touch points. And now we need to streamline that. So that has worked for us and that has gotten us to where we are today, and certainly a lot faster than a lot of the competitors in the market space. But now it's version 2 is being innovated and worked on here this fall. So we'll be looking at things like, let's integrate a text program. So we'll text the customer so they can text us back. We've looked at some other really high-tech solutions. So there's a lot of really interesting things you can do out there with geolocation services, and just knowing who's closer to your restaurant. And while those are high-tech, super cool solutions, they're a little less functional than we'd like them to be. And I don't think they're going to work as easy as just a text message. So it's all about ease and convenience for the customer. What I imagine in the future is like getting that text message and responding, having a button on your order confirmation, having a button on the tracker. It's about trying to just put it where the customers are actually going to use it. So we're spending a lot of time streamlining that interaction. And of course, that'll free up time in the restaurant. If team members aren't answering phones, they're making food, right? So we want to get them off the phones. We want to make it easier for them to know who's waiting outside. Really we see Curbside as being here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere, okay? So this is our answer to the pickup window in our restaurants that are on the corner that can have a pickup window.
Right.
And certainly we're not the first ones to do it. There's plenty of others out there that have been doing it for a long time, but we really think it's here to stay. I always think about mom or dad driving up to the store with a car full of kids, and they don't want to get out of the car to go get the food. They just want to bring it out to my car. I'm here, right? So we want to give, that's another give customers what they want kind of piece. So Curbside's here to stay. I'm going to say it right now. I think other people are saying it too, but I'm definitely on board.
Awesome. Well, we're going to let that be the final word. Tony, thank you so much for being here today and talking with us about your technology solutions.
Thank you so much. Take care.